Fantastic. Thank you, everyone. And I'm honoured to step into the big shoes of Jeff and take the education session. So thanks for the opportunity. So today I wanted to cover off something, just survive or prepare to thrive. So it is something that has been thrown around a lot in organisations as a bit of a theme. And what I wanted to cover off first is just so people have a little bit of context of my background. I have a lot. I'm not going to read it out. I've actually stopped adding to this list because it doesn't fit onto slides anymore. So the experience qualification, I've had a fair bit right from being a corporate trainer with a bank. I did start working over 30 years ago, the Broken Hill Credit Union, and currently working as well as running my organisation, Yin Yang Consultancy, that's been around since 2013. I am now also working at the University of Newcastle as their business development manager. Now, what some people may not know, particularly new people on this call, is in 2013, I hit a crisis. I woke up and could not feel my legs. And that led to 6 months long time working out what was wrong. I had multiple sclerosis. And that crashed my career. It crashed my jobs. I thought my life was over. And I did build back up to where I am now. It has taken a long time. But at the moment, what I want to do is take you into the mindset of if you were in an aircraft and it crash landed, and to give some more context, my husband was in the Air Force and used to train the combat survival training. And this is the stuff that they taught is your mindset is so crucial if you crash land to whether you survive or not. And there's something called the chain of survival. Now, for those of you that may have studied NLP, neuro-linguistics programming, and other parts, or psychology and the physiology of the body, we, as our body, don't know the difference between a thought as a threat or a real threat. Our body can act the same way, and it's really scary. So there could be things that happen at work that stop you in your tracks. Okay. And that is where there's a lot of, yes, stress can be good, we can push through, but if there can be a significant event, or there can be a lot of long-term chronic stress, which can lead to chronic issues. Okay. So what I want to talk to you about through is something people may not be aware, that this survival, chain of survival, can be implemented into your career and your workplace. Okay. So the chain of survival, rule of three. You have 3 minutes if there is an issue with breathing. Anyone that's done first aid will be aware of this. If there is bleeding, unless it's a severe like chronic artery, but mainly if there's bleeding, you've got 3 minutes to fix that, to make sure that someone will have enough oxygen going around to keep their brain going. You have your next chain of survival, your next high priority is 3 hours to create shelter. So those two things are actually more important than water, because our body can actually go 3 days without water. So once you've made sure that people are breathing, you've got any bleeding fixed, and you've got shelter, then the next priority is to go and find fresh water, whether fire is important too, if you can't find a fresh running water source. Okay. 3 weeks, you can go without food, believe it or not. And there are people on this course who are super fit that lost 13 kilos in 6 days, guys. So it can be done, even fit people that don't look they've got some weight to lose. So how does this relate to work? Okay. If you are in a situation and someone comes up to you and you're not able to breathe and process and think, you've got in that 3 minutes, you have to be able to stop and make an informed decision. When we're stressed, our frontal lobe does not work. So you need to go and stop and breathe and get that oxygen going and get your frontal lobe thinking process happening. Okay. If that can't happen, you also need that shelter, that group, what's going on side of things. The other part though, they don't teach there is your mindset. You have 3 seconds from when something happens at the most to decide, and this has been proven when people crash land, those that survive within 3 seconds made a decision that they are going to survive. And those that don't, they don't, even though they've been taught that chain of survival, it's can I be bothered? Can't I be bothered? So, a quick show of hands, who's ever been in a work situation when something happens and you go, oh, yep, we've got this, we're going to get it sorted? Or you see other people that just go, oh, I'm out. I don't want to be involved. And who's also been there themselves? There's some stuff that, oh, this is just way too overwhelming. Oh my goodness. And you've got to take that time. Okay. So going back to this, for me, with when I had the multiple sclerosis issue, I had to take time off work. I had to go get shelter. I had to get refreshed. That's the relation to the water. I had to get nourished and nurtured to be able to come back to create my own business, to be now working way more than full time. I'm pleased to say everything has come back. It has been a bit of work, but that is how I got through it. Okay. Uh, so, other than that, I want to talk too about in the workplace the mindset of when everyone has heard of square peg into a round hole. Okay. We used to be a bit of an authoritarian leadership place. If you go back to the 80s and prior, it was very much do as you're told, don't ask questions. We are now no longer in that. We are needing to be more adaptive, particularly with psychological safety coming into the workplace. So, how do we as leaders all adapt? How do we as business owners all adapt, looking after ourselves and others that we're working with? So that teamwork, that collaboration has become extremely important. And the reasons, we all know the reasons, the standard line of maximize efficiency, increase employee safety, increase quality of work, so you're not having mistakes and retakes, better team dynamics, improve strategic alignment, increase staff retention, because that saves a bucket load of money, let's be honest, and time and stress, and innovation and growth can't come unless all of that's there. So a lot of this stuff that, I know Alan does the rapid trait profiling. There's a lot of things out there on the profiling tools like DISC, Myers-Briggs, all sorts of things. But what they don't tell you in those tools, and I want everyone that can get a pen, I want you to get a pen and write your name down on a piece of paper. Okay. Then I want you to tell me when you're done, put your hands up so I know that's done. Yeah. Awesome. So we've all done that. So how did that feel? Most people report, oh, easy, quick. Did you have to think about it? Nope. Now I want you to change hands. Put it in your other non-dominant hand for those of you that aren't ambidextrous, and do the same thing with your non-dominant hand. I will give you a little longer to do that. And put your hands up once you've got that done. Yeah. Now, how did that feel? I want you to actually pop this in the chat for me. Some people report it's a little bit clunky. Did it take longer? Yes. Did it look childlike? Was it like, how was it if you had to criticize it? But could you do it? Yes. Yes, all of those things. Yes, you could do it. It was not as professional and polished and easy as your right or your dominant hand, but you could do it. And if you had to in a stressful situation or couldn't use your dominant hand, you could eventually learn to use your other hand. That's what people are like when they're classified and asked to do things like Alan's rapid trait profiling that's not within their realm of comfort and what feels natural. So the message I want to get through today for mindset is just because someone is profiled or in DISC is a particular DISC profile MBTI, that just means that they are natural. It is no excuse. It does not mean they cannot do a different role, but it's not going to feel as natural. And it is going to cause them some stress. And long term, that could lead to chronic problems if not addressed. So, if there's any questions, pop them in the chat. But other than that, that was the main thing I wanted to get across today. Get to know yourself. If things don't feel natural, yes, you can be skilled, like they say, 10,000 hours to get your talent up in certain things. You can work on a skill, but if your will's not in it, you're going to have trouble as well. So back to you, Alan.
Excellent. Thanks very much. I'll just stop the recording first. And there we go. So anybody